what is business analysis? We have been talking about, right? We are business analyst. We are learning business analysis. Business analysis is a practice, right? All that. But in simple terminology, when we talk about, if somebody asks, what do you understand by the term business analysis, right? This is the fundamental thing. We need to understand what is business analysis. When we say business analysis, what do we actually mean, right? So this is a very standard business analysis definition, which is prescribed by BABOK, right? BABOK stands for Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. It's a book which promotes uh, business analysis practice, right? So that business analysis body of knowledge has given a standard definition of business analysis, right? And we will now quickly look at the definition of business analysis, right? Now, business analysis is the practice of enabling change in an organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders, right? The four statements, words highlighted in blue, right? This is your entire business analysis activity. It is what? It is enabling change by defining needs and recommending solution, therefore deliver value to the stakeholder. This is what we do. What do we do? We understand, we enable the change that is required. And how do we change? We first identify what is the need, right? What customer want, why are we building this application, why are we enhancing this process, right? And when we are enhancing and building this, it is ultimately the solution that we are recommending, which is going to bring value to the stakeholder. When we say stakeholder, it is the client, somebody who has put in the money to build that application, somebody who has invested the money and time to improve the processes, right? That is why the project has come to us, right? So what do? We enable change by defining needs and recommending solutions, therefore bringing value to the stakeholder, right? The ultimate goal of every action is to bring value, right? The value in terms of money, in terms of productivity, in terms of enhancement of the application, right? In terms of saving time, anything, in terms of creating the profitability, generating revenues for the organization, right? Making them do good in the market, whatever it is the reason. This is for to give the value of the project. Now let's take a simple example, right? If somebody, you are, so for example, you are working in a school, right? And everything that is happening on the school now is happening manually. For example, the teacher is coming to the class and everybody is coming to the class, and all the sessions and all is happening manually using Blackboard and all that, right? That is one way. Now later a project has been run to do a lot of automation, right? Rather than doing the writing all the notes manually, there are certain ways of generating the documents of all the notes and share this with the candidates, right? Rather than submitting their assignments manually, they can do a soft copy and submit it to the organization, right? So all that thing that has been done to automate the existing manual process is to bring more value, right? That will save a lot of time to the organization, lot of other things can be saved, right? So this is one of the example of what kind of value we bring, right? In terms of IT development, right? When we build a software, when we enhance an application, one of the reason of doing it to simplify the process, right? For example, if you take a very simple example, say a money transfer, right? For example, you want to transfer money to one of your friend, right? You use a payment transfer app, like for example, PayPal. You select your friend, you transfer money is gone, account is updated, everything is clear, right? It is happening at the nick of the time. Now just think that before couple of years, was this They were possible. This was not possible. If you want to transfer, then you have to visit a bank, fill a form, give the money, submit that money or deposit that money into an account, right? All that was a long manual process. But now transferring money using something, even if you do not have cash, right? Cash in hand, if you want to buy something, digitally you can do the payment. You do not need hard cash in your hand, right? How the infrastructure is enhanced. This is the value that we are bringing. A lot of these things that is happening. How all this is happening. This is the part of it might be a requirement, right? It might initially we define the need that this is what we want, right? This is the need. The need was in this example is to do the digital payment, right? This is the need. And how are we bringing that need, that change from manual payment to digital payment? We created that application, right? Which is the application, which is the solution that we brought, right? And that solution has ultimately given value to everybody, value to business, value to customer, those who are using it. It's a value to everyone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So these four words highlighted in blue, you should always remember. If you remember these four bullet points, it's planning and understanding end-to-end business analysis activity is very
Okay. So I have a question. In like the example you gave now, from manual to automated or to applications, do we as a business analyst with our organization, in some cases, do we build these application solutions for them?
Yeah, as a business analyst, you will.
Or we just recommend.
Yeah, we will. When we say building, we will not be coding, right? We will not code. We will not write the code. We will not test, but we gather the requirements. What do we actually have to build, right?
Okay.
That is the requirement, because development team will code. They will create the function. They will create the app, but they should know what is the workflow. If the workflow is money transfer, what all we have to code, right?
Yeah.
All that in the requirements, you will be creating it.
Okay, so now we recommend that. Do we liaise with the coders, or our company has a department that does that, or we liaise with those ones in a separate entity? What we want, we already know what we want on the software. We know what we want the programs to look like. Now we're giving it to the coders. Are those coders going to be under our own as a we are the BA solution now? Do we have those in our orbit? Do we have people like that in our orbit after telling them what to do?
Correct. So yeah, so these coders can be within a part of the organization for which you are working. It can be anybody else from other companies also. It can be vendors also, right? But yeah, you mentioned it right. You will tell them what you have to build. You will show them the requirements. And once they built it, you will also verify by looking at the system that it is meeting your requirements or not, right? That is also your job, because you have to explain them whenever they have query. You have to answer them. If you don't know the answer, you have to follow with the clients and the people, those who have given you the requirement. You have to help development queue and everybody to build that. Once it is built, then you have to see that the requirement document that you have created, the application is like that or not. It is completing, it is meeting all of the expectation or not. That you will only see because you know, right? As a business analyst, you have identified that what is the requirement, and nobody would be better than you to identify that whether the requirements are meeting the expectations or not. The software that has been built, it is meeting the requirement or not. So that part you have to verify.